What's up, guys? I got my 2011 Honda Pilot over here that I'm going to do the front brakes on. These are the pads over here. I prefer to kind of get the front pads. This isn't a performance car at all. So what we're going to do is going to set up the truck right now. I'm going to put a wheel chock on the back just so it doesn't roll. I'm kind of on a little slant. I'm also going to step on the parking brake over here. And got my jack stands ready to go. On the front of the Pilot, there's a little like tab sticking out that you could sit your jack under and lift it up. It's pretty convenient that they made that. It's also like the tow hook, I think. So we're gonna get that in the center, raise it up. You can tell right there, this is where I'm gonna set up the jack stand. That way when I bring it down, it's ready to go. And you just want to recheck and make sure that everything's okay. So now these sockets that I got, they're like plastic coated, and they protect against scratching, you know, the lug nuts or the rims. As you can see, it's been scratching the socket, but you know, as a sacrifice, it's the plastic that gets scratched, not your rims itself. That's a 22. I got my electric impact here. I'm gonna start knocking those wheels off. You can tell, you see there's no scratches in there. Alright, so now for me, I find it easy if I turn the wheel to the outside. I'm going to try and set up my camera over here. I think the bottom right there is a 17 if I'm not mistaken. And I dropped the camera.
Whoopsies.
Whoops. Now we can continue with that. Got my gear wrench 120 XP. Love this thing. It's a 1/2 inch. Put a link into the description below. See if you guys want to pick that up. And a little electric ratchet. Just makes the job quicker. You don't need this tool. Then we're gonna swing the caliper upward. Actually, you don't have to take off the top. I'm gonna pop that little boot off right there. Now these pads come with like a spring-loaded clip. Pushes the pads outward. I guess it's to prevent premature wear, so that the pads aren't constantly riding on the rotor itself. I'm not changing the rotors because they look pretty good. I don't see any deep grooves or gashes or any rust rings around the edge of the lip, so I'm going to keep those pads. Now I'm trying to show you like where the holes are, and you can see how low the brakes were compared to the new pair. Significant difference. I could feel how long it took the brake pedal to actually compress the brakes. Even though I didn't reach the sensor, I could feel the difference. Over here I'm going to remove the brake pads. You can see the difference. See right there how close it's getting to the actual backing plate. See the difference right there. Now what I'm going to do is clean up all the shims. Sometimes rust or dirt or grime likes to build up there. I'm even going to remove the shim and clean up underneath, because sometimes the rust can build up there and it won't allow the shim to sit evenly on the bracket itself. See right there, I took the shim off, I re-cleaned it. Now comes the hard part, is actually putting these pads on. So you want to lubricate just the tips where the pad slides or glides onto the bracket itself. You want to put a dab right there in the shim. Make sure you don't get on the rotors. The hard part is using those shims. This is another brake lubricant you could either use, or you could use the stuff that it comes with from the box. And you also want to clean up that pin right there. Put some lube on there. Now the sensor goes on the inside towards the top, because that's the way that the rotor is spinning, and that will give you a screeching sound once the brake starts to wear down. Now we're going to collapse the pistons. You could use your old pad, or just collapse them one at a time. So what I did was I grabbed the old pad and just squished it. It'll evenly compress it. Sometimes you got to get a different grip, because the pliers won't grab it all the way. There's a big wrench. Some people use a screwdriver, stick it in the piston and compress it, but that could damage the piston, so I kind of don't want to do that. So I want to clean up in there. Sometimes there's debris and dust. You just want to make sure your pistons are clean, the boots are clean. So what I do is I put some lube on this part of the caliper. This is just to keep everything from seizing up and sticking, and kind of keep things smooth. It's an old timer trick I was told years ago. Now I'm cleaning up the pin from the old grease. That stuff starts to get hard after a while. Now I'm going to lubricate the bottom pin. Grease still looked pretty fresh, so I didn't really take that grease off. Just added some more.
Yeah, I can take it off? All right.
Now the hard part was putting these clips on. They're spring loaded, so they kept wanting to pop out. So what I did was I lowered one. I put one on and I lowered the caliper a little bit, and then tried to snake the other clip on. You can see him struggling here. Oh, and the freaking pad popped off. So now you're gonna watch me struggle here for a little bit. Oh, bitch. And once again it popped off. Yeah, I mean, this is not a do or die or a, urgent safety procedure. If you don't want to put the clips on, it's not gonna ruin your brake performance or be unsafe. I just figured it came with it. I got the time, might as well just put it back on. Not gonna hurt me at all. Now I'm collapsing the piston one more time because I don't think it collapsed evenly. Now stupid clip again. Yeah, it is a pain in the butt to do. Alright, magically it's back on. So now I'm going to bolt it back on with the 17mm bolt. Now the pin also has a flat spot that you'd want to put maybe like a flathead screwdriver. That way the notch matches the caliper bolt. It's hard to describe. You have to see it once you're working on it. Right there, I'm noticing that the notch isn't matching up, so I'm going to take it back off. Now this isn't a lug nut, this isn't an axle nut, this isn't a super big bolt, so you don't need to crank on this super tight, Just snug and a little more is fine. I forgot the exact torque spec, but I'll try and write it down. Right there, I'm sticking a wedge between that so the flat spot can be even with the cutout of the caliper itself. You'll see.
Listen, there's inflation like a motherfucker right now. I don't know if you're gonna get all that.
There you go. Now I'm just snugging it up. And that's pretty much it. It's nothing too crazy. Now you're gonna want to pump your brakes. Like, don't forget to pump your brakes, because once you freaking move or put in reverse and you haven't pumped your brakes, that thing is gonna scare you because that car is gonna roll. All right, guys. I hope you learned something. This has been Dirty Dog Mechanic on my 2011 Honda Pilot. Catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.